everyone for joining us this evening. I have next to me Jane Hillsdon. She's a passionate, award-winning marketer dedicated to helping small business owners make good decisions about their marketing. Jane's recently published her first book, very exciting, How to Do Marketing, a comprehensive guide for small business. And she's also a two-time award winner for the Small Budget Marketing Award through the AMI. So very esteemed colleague of ours up here and judge of the awards. So
thank you, Daniel.
That's all right.
Very sweet.
No worries. So the first question we have for Jane tonight is, what do you love about marketing?
Oh, well, what don't I love about marketing? I'm an incredibly curious person. So personally, and I'm sure I'm probably speaking for all of the marketers in the room here, I love to work out how people think, and I love to really get inside the brain of people and work out what drives them to do certain things. So I think like Bernard Salt is officially like my biggest crush as a demographer, and he lists one of the favourite things that he loves to do is sit in cafes and people watch and sit there and wonder, you know, what everybody's doing and what everybody's story is. And I think that's probably one of my favourite pastimes too. So certainly kind of that strategic planning part where we actually get to really research and dig deep into what drives our consumers is a space that I really love playing in. And I also love the creativity that's involved in marketing. And I remember, you know, probably for the first 10 years of my career, I didn't really I didn't really link creativity to marketing. Like I kind of always thought creatives were like the graphic designers and the videographers and the ad, you know, campaign people, like the Don Drapers of the world. And it wasn't until probably recently that I went, actually, marketers need to be really creative in terms of, you know, yes, coming up with ideas, but also finding solutions to problems, you know, and I know myself, I'm a marketing consultant, so I work across, you know, with so many different businesses. So there's always lots of different problems to kind of bring a marketing solution to. So I love that too.
Very good. Thank you, Jane. How many years have you been involved with the awards program itself?
Well, I think I'm quite new to this process, but I think I've just kind of thrown myself into the AMI. 3 years ago, I applied for the first Small Budget Marketing Award, and I won the national award that year, so that was not last year but the year before. And as part of that, you get your 6 months memberships or whatever the deal is. And so I started kind of becoming engaged in the network, and then the email came through looking for members for the AMI New South Wales Committee. So a couple of months after winning the award, I jumped on board the committee, then jumped on board as a judge, and again applied last year for the Small Budget Award. And I didn't snag the national, but I did snag the state award last year. And so, yeah, for the last couple of years, I've kind of been coming to all of the events, and I'm working with the committee on the New South Wales Emerging Marketing Program, which I know some of you are part of that are here tonight. So yeah, it's been a really intense journey.
Yes. You talked a little bit about judging and the committee and a few other things. Are there any other elements that sort of keep you coming back to working in and amongst the AMI and marketing community?
Well, I just love being around like-minded people. So I'm actually based in Port Macquarie. I'm not based in Sydney. And there's probably only a smattering of marketers in town. So one of the biggest drivers for me to get involved with the committee was just being able to immerse myself in with a whole group of marketers. And gosh, we're so much fun to be around, like really, to be honest. You can turn up to an event like this and know that you can talk to someone because most marketers are pretty friendly and interesting. And I also love, like, you know, I run my own business, so it's really nice just to be able to touch base with other marketers and see, and this is what I love about the awards process, is just seeing what else is out there? You know, what are other people doing? How are other people thinking? You know, how are other people solving the problems that, you know, so many of us need to solve as senior marketers these days?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jane. So you talked a bit about yourself and the AMI and a lot of the things that we do as marketers and some of the challenges we face. On the judging specifically, what do you look for in a great campaign?
Okay, well, I think as marketers, what we love, well, actually, the clients of ours love it when a marketing campaign actually works. Or our organisation love it when a marketing campaign actually achieves what it's set out to achieve.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you can't underestimate, you know, the idea is obviously really, really important, and who doesn't love a creative idea? You know, who doesn't love to see clever marketing and clever creative when something goes viral, you know, when something really hits the spot? However, I think at the end of the day, as marketers, we're paid to produce results.
Yes.
And so if a marketing campaign produces results and exceeds those results, then that is a good marketing campaign. So whether that campaign is you know, worthy of winning a creative award at Cannes is a completely, you know, separate issue. If it doesn't work, it hasn't been successful.
You've touched on a little bit there, but what are those key elements that really distinguish a great campaign from what you would see as an average one? I suppose you talked a lot about delivering results there. Are there any other elements that you see come through in those really top-end campaigns versus just the stock standard of what comes out?
Yeah, so certainly from the judging point of view, what we're looking for those standout campaigns is, I guess it's best described as anyone, you know, any one of us is capable of spending money on platforms. Any one of us can fill out a marketing media schedule and book up advertising space, you know, and ensure eyeballs on our campaign. But where a marketing campaign stands out heads and shoulders above the others is actually making clever use of the assets that it puts into place. So I guess that's why I kind of really love that small budget space, because when you don't have a lot of money, you've really, really got to think creatively about how you're best going to spend that dollar, which makes you kind of really dig deep to understand how you can leverage existing assets, you know, how you can actually make sure that your message creates impact. But again, you know, I think again as award judges, what we're looking for is that campaigns have been driven by sound strategy. So we're not looking at tactical campaigns that throw out, you know, kind of funny creative or, you know, entertaining creative, but that haven't been driven by a sound strategy. So we look to see that strategy is there. Extra points if you have really spent some time considering your target audience. So, you know, where there has been some research into, you know, why, you know, you make decisions around some of your marketing. The idea, I mean, let's face it, a clever idea is always going to be something that is, you know, gets credit.
Yep.
And then the results. So the results, at the end of the day, that's what we're paid to do. So we need to make sure that, you know, we're not just creating fabulous creative movies or videos or social media, you know, kind of memes. We're actually producing a result that adds to a business's bottom line.
Yep, absolutely. So it's not just about the content, we've got to deliver those results.
Results?
Yep, absolutely. What advice would you give a marketer that wants to see success off the back of their marketing efforts?
What advice would I give a marketer?
To marketers who want to, I guess, around the marketing efforts that they produce, they want to see success off the back of this. Maybe how do they project themselves or promote themselves?
Personally?
Yeah, absolutely. Personally or within business as well.
I think the best way to, there's kind of two elements, I guess, that you can answer that. From a personal branding point of view, like we're all people who either within our organisations or, you know, we have our own brand, it is important that we leverage the wins and that we leverage, and that's not just the award wins, like we've got to leverage the campaigns where we've nailed it, where we've had successes. And I think the most important thing there is to not be scared about backing yourself and not be scared about actually telling people about your successes. So, you know, things like nominating yourself for awards or, you know, writing a case study and being proud about the work that you've done. So own it. Like if you nail it with a campaign, own it and tell people about it. We shouldn't shy away from that in an act of humility.
That's right.
I mean, we don't want to be skiters, but do you know what I mean? Like,
own your success, right?
Own our success, and particularly in organisations where marketing is not taken seriously, you know, I think we have to be really assertive and promote ourselves and promote the work that we do. So we need to go to the board and say, this happened because of the work that marketing did. Absolutely. So don't cut our budgets and don't cut our teams. You know, this happened because marketing was involved. It's about kind of demonstrating how marketing plugs into the overall success of a business.
So one final question for you, Jane. For those thinking about entering the AMI Awards, how can they maximise their chance at winning?
Well, for next year, do you know, it sounds really, really basic, but the amount of entries that don't actually answer the submission is quite astounding. So, first and foremost, there's like 4 categories that you have to answer, 4 questions, 4 points that you have to address in the award submission. Make sure that you address them. Don't copy and paste your marketing plan. Seen it?
That's right.
Don't copy and paste pre-existing documents that kind of fit what you've been asked to submit. Seen it? Because straight away, regardless of your success, you have not answered the questions properly. This is an award submission. You need to answer the questions that you've been asked.
Take the time, make sure you spend it, you know, translating what you may have already produced into the awards.
Craft it. Take people on the journey. As judges, we are people. You need to take us on the journey. So start by answering the questions and addressing the issues. And then, again, take us on the journey. So what, you know, things that stand out on applications that I've judged is when you can actually feel the passion behind the campaign. So rather than kind of a big chunk of corporate speak, when somebody who's clearly passionate about driving results with this campaign is crafting that storytelling, that comes across, you know. I think too, I mean, most people pick, everyone's marketers, like all of the campaigns are sound and solid and to be commended. When there's that really clever idea, when you're taken on the journey and there's, you know, a strategy and there's a problem and you see someone has really used their creativity to solve that problem and then the results have nailed it, that's what makes an award submission stand out. So I guess my 3 top tips are kind of, A, make sure you're answering the questions correctly. B, take us on the journey. We're judges. So of course we're going to be an emotive, you know, an audience that are driven by emotions. So take us on the journey. And 3, you know, if your campaign is award winning, well then it's most likely going to win that award.
All right, well, thanks so much, Jane. You've been fantastic as always. You brought the peacock dress and I've brought the pink flamingo socks. So,
excellent.
Thanks so much for your energy, Jane. We do have a small gift for you as coming up and answering the questions that I'm sure all the room have found. Some really great gold nuggets there from an experienced marketer, a business runner, an award winner. So thanks very much, Jane.
Love it. Thank you, Daniel.